So here we are talking about another control which is called as say tabbed pane. Tabbed pane, what is a procedure to create a tabbed pane? It is not a new control. It combines various controls into sub parts, which is called as a pane. Pane is nothing but a small section of a window. Like when I talk about that, that is a right side pane. The same PowerPoint window, I have left pane, I have middle pane, I have right pane, I have top pane. So this is called as a pane. When we talk about tabbed pane, the pane which is defined by different tabs. Again, same like your PowerPoint here now. Home tab, insert tab defines another set of components, top pane. Then you take another tab, another set of components like that. Clear? This is called a tabbed pane. To create a tabbed pane, actually you are going to use the same components what you have learned so far. Like you are going to use buttons or checkboxes or lists or text fields. Nothing new. But just how to combine them is called as tabbed pane. Clear with that? Fine. So, procedure to create tabbed pane. First of all, create an instance of a JTabbed pane as we usually do. When we create a button, we create instance of JButton class. JButton B is the instance of J. Similarly, create an instance of JTabbed pane. First step. This is the second step. Add each tab by calling add it. Now you have made different tabs. One instance, two instance, three instance of tab. Add them to the tabbed pane group. Add them to the tabbed pane group. Then add the tabbed pane to the content pane. It is something like that top part is there. That top part is made up of how many tabs? Can you count how many tabs are there? Home tab with 9 tabs total. So now listen. There are 9 tabs. 9 tab का एक group बना के that top pane is formed. That top pane is placed on PowerPoint window. Clear with that? Fine. So these different tabs, they will form a group. That group will form top pane. Clear with that? Now that top pane has to be, after creating that top pane, वो वाला piece बना के, then we have to place it on PowerPoint. So PowerPoint window you can consider to be a content pane. What is content pane? If long ago when I started Swing, I have told you that normally a Swing interface is considered to be a glass pane. It is formed by different panes. There are 4 panes I have already covered, and even in the notes I will not go back to that because I missed it. But wherever you place the component, that is called as a content pane. Yeah. So you can place that on the content. These are the steps. So there is a small program in your textbook. Yesterday you people had lab, right? ACN lab. You finished that division program also? Yes. So 4 programs are done. I will show you the output first. This I have already shown you yesterday. Because I'm taking separate classes for A and B, na, I have to recollect which I have told in P and which I have told in A. Fine. So tabbed pane mein first, this is one tab and its content. Second tab colors and its content. Third tab flavors and its content. Clear? So how all these are created? You see the code quickly. First, I will have to create then different panels. Something if in this classroom, I have to make 4 sections so that I can take routes in between. Then pehle, what I will have to do, I will have to make those sections. Yeah. So to make that section, there is one more class used called as panel. Which class is used? Panel. So how the panel classes, I mean, of my class, I make a child of the panel class. Then I can be a panel. Clear? So like that, how many panels I'll have to create? 4 in as when it comes to this class. When it comes to my tab, depend how many tabs are there? 3 tabs. Country, something was there, na? I forgot anyways. Cities was there, colors was there, and flavors. 3 tabs. I will have to create 3 classes. So pehla wala class is cities, and it is going to extend JPAN. Jaise, when I want to create an applet, I will have to extend applet class. Similarly, when I want to create a panel, I will have to extend JPAN. So first I create a panel. This is the constructor. Inside the constructor, now my first tab is made up of 3 buttons. Cities are made up of buttons. Do you recollect that? I had shown you the output. So these 3 buttons I have defined, I have added them on the window. Which window it will add? To that cities panel. So one panel is created. Then I am creating colors panel. You remember how is the colors panel? Is it with buttons? They are checkboxes. Clear? Now only I'll show you the third one also. Third one is with list, drop down list. Clear? So now I have another 2 classes I will have to create. Colors panel. In this, I will have to create 3 checkboxes. How to create a checkbox and how to add it on a window. The revision of yesterday's. Clear with this? How I created 3 checkboxes and I've added it to the current class, whichever is that. Which panel it is? Colors panel. Yeah. Similarly, I create another panel, which is that flavors panel. Now this panel is made up of a drop-down list. Drop-down lists are of 2 types. Although it is not specifically mentioned in your syllabus, let me tell you. One is a list box, which purely gives you a list of values that user must select from. Right? There is a combo box, which is a combination of text box and list box. What does that mean? When you are provided with the text field, you can type in the values. When you are provided with a list, you can select the values. Combination of that means what? You can also select from the list of values, but suppose the value which you want is not available in the list. You can also type such component called as in AWT also you have that component called as combo. You have J. Understood the difference between combo box and list box? List box will not allow you to type the new value. Combo box will allow you to type the new value or select from the here. So here we are creating combo box. New combo box with this items values. This is a single component with multiple items. Flavor vanilla, chocolate, Family because it is a single list of all components. The panels are ready. Now all those panels have to be added to content pane. So where am I adding those? So यहाँ पे I have created a applet class, my main window. In that window, see here, I have created instance of tabbed pane. What is its name? JTP, JTabbed pane. And I have just created it without any parameter. Fine. And then in that JTabbed pane, I am adding tabs. Tab should have a name. Tab पे कुछ तो दिखना चाहिए ना, like home, insert. So I create tabs. With what? Cities as the name. And what I'm going to add to that? I'm going to add the class ka instance, which I've created 3 panels. Which 3 panels I've created? Cities panel, colors panel, flavors panel. So either you can create their object and add those objects, or directly I can just initialize them here. Or you know how to create a short object like this directly. Once you say new object gets created. When you do not have, it is not important to name the object and use. It is something I have to get the work done. I'm just giving you an example. Even though I don't know who is this, who is he, Sandeep. Either I call Sandeep by name or I just say, Arey, thoda help kar. In that case, I'm temporarily taking his help. He is of not important to me. Suppose on the road, if some help I require, I just take his help. But Sandeep is my student. I have to deal with him throughout the year. I have to see his progress. Then I will know his name. Similarly, in case of naming the object also, when you want that object to refer it again in future, you name it. When you don't want to use it in future, just use it for only one instance, then directly you can create the object like this. New city. Go pura cities panel CB equal to new cities panel and then call that CB. Also fine. Clear with that? Or normally these big textbooks, they use shortcuts. But for common students, these shortcuts become very complicated. उससे अच्छा था एक object बना लेते हैं, call that object here. Even that it would just increase 3 more lines. Clear with that? Understood what I'm talking? So this is your tab. Although the program is big, but it is not very tedious, isn't it? So whenever you will have lab, I advise you. I had told Radhika madam, I have called her and I have told to share this PDF with you. You can execute whenever you have. Now henceforth also you will have ACM lab or advanced Java lab. Suppose if nothing new is taught, you can practice these programs. Finished about tabbed pane. I will just open the syllabus copy and I'll take only those components which are there for syllabus. What is remaining now? Scroll pane and JList. Okay, what is a scroll pane? How does it look? That we see first. What is a scroll pane? All of you know scroll bars? Vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar. Similarly, scroll pane is something like that. It is not a new component, but these are the 2 vertical and horizontal components. Actually, these separate components have to be clubbed with window. What happens in your case is whenever you have a smaller window, this will not appear. Like suppose when you take a new, here I will take a new blank document. Now this blank document, is it showing me horizontal scroll bar? Vertical scroll bar it is showing because I cannot, because that entire window is not visible to me. What happens here when I minimize the size? Oh, I think this is by default kept to be on. Actually, what happens? What should happen? When I minimize the size, this should disappear because it is of no use. Entire scene is, entire document is visible to me. Fine. Now, horizontal is not visible, but I can make it visible. How? I'll show you. Has it appeared? When did it appear? When it was in need. When I was in need. That document has gone beyond the screen size. Very likely. Similarly, that scroll pane to my Java window also, it will appear only when my window cannot accommodate the components. If I have inserted only 4 buttons on applet, scroll pane is of no use. 4 buttons aram se it will fit. But if I create 100 buttons, then what will happen? In one applet, in one screen, at least it will not fit. So it will increase the screen, but still I can not see. So it will provide me a scroll pane. Clear? So that scroll pane, how to create and how to add. That is there in your syllabus. Clear with that? So let us study what is scroll pane. It is a lightweight container that automatically handles scrolling of another component. It individually is a component, but that helps other component to scroll up and down. Clear with that? That is, it helps the window to scroll up and down. This component being scrolled can be either an individual component such as a list or a group of components which are placed on a panel. Normally, these are group of components that are placed on a panel. एक text box तो इतना बड़ा नहीं हो सकता कि it requires a scrolling pan, scroll pane. It will be a series of text boxes or series of buttons placed one below the other on a panel. Then उस panel को हम लोग scroll pane attach करते. Got it? Fine. So when it goes beyond the viewable area, the area to be scrolled should always be beyond the, or it should be more than the viewable section, as I showed you in case of this window. Clear? Yeah. So how to create a scroll pane? As usual, we have a constructor here. Scroll pane can be created and it should be attached to a component. Scroll pane को कुछ नाम नहीं होता. It is just a scroll bar. It should be specified that that scroll pane is attached to which window. So either it should be directly the applet window or the pane which is named. Just now we created panels. So we can create panels and then even that pane can be attached. Clear? Yeah. So what are the steps? Create the component to be scrolled. पहले component तैयार करना पड़ेगा. Then attach a scroll pane to that. That is the steps. Fine. Create an instance of JScroll pane. Add the scroll pane to the container. That scroll pane should be added to the main applet window. So there is a program. In this program, we are creating multiple buttons. How we are creating multiple buttons? How did we create multiple buttons in calculator? When we wanted multiple buttons, how did we create? Array of buttons. So similarly, here we are using array of buttons. How many buttons we are going to add here? Sorry. How many buttons I'm going to add? See, 400. First, I create a panel. I set the layout to 20 and 20. 20 rows, 20 columns. So 400 ho jate. Then I have taken a loop. 0 se lekar 20 I have taken double loop. Why double loop? You know, two-dimensional matrix. You learn two-dimensional matrix. Matrix addition. You used to take I loop and J loop. A of M of N. Same thing we are using here. We are creating array of buttons. Array means table. Rows, one array. In each row, multiple columns. So 20 by 20 ka we are making. So we are using double for loop to create those many buttons. Printing B there. B plus plus ho ya plus plus B both is same. Clear? So button bana diya. Then I have to make scroll pane. Now those buttons are added where? To a panel by name. All these buttons are added to a panel by name JP. So JP is ready with buttons. Now I have to attach a pane, scroll pane to JP. How to create a scroll pane? Simple. J scroll pane, JSP, new scroll pane. While creating the scroll pane itself, I have to specify the window to which I am attaching this. JP is a panel which I have created with 400 buttons. To that panel, I am adding the scroll pane. Simple. Then I am just specifying border layout. That is not very much necessary. You can just say add JSP first. Add JSP and close. What is JSP? That scroll pane which I created, na, that should be placed on the main applet. I just have to say add JSP and close it. Here, if you don't add this scroll pane, it will not. In lab again, execute the program as it is, remove or comment that scroll pane wala thing. It will show you only few buttons which are visible. Baki sare bahar jayenge, you will not be able to see. Okay, with that, understood scroll pane? Last component is JList. Fine. So JList and combo box I have already told you what is. So how to create a JList? JList class is used to create a list of items. User can select one or more items from a list. Normally, by default, it will allow only one item to be selected. If you want user should be allowed to select multiple items. There is a property which you have to set to true. Fine. Allow multiple item selection to true. Some property is there. So now let's see how list can be created. List is based on two models. List model and list selection model. This is just a logical. You have to set the selection mode. How many items should be selected from the list? So if you specify only one, user can select only one value at a time from the list. Otherwise, you can specify multiple. And the possible values you should specify like this. Single selection. That means single value. Single interval selection. Interval means range of value 1 to 10. Like that also user can select. Or if user wants multiple intervals, that also can be. Clear with that? Yeah. Now, how do I understand which item is selected by the user? User will select one of the items. How will I know which item is selected? Using the method get selected index. Now, each of the item when I add to the list box, it will have an index value. You know array index? In array, if you have 4 elements, what will be the index? What will be the first index? 0, 1, 2, 3. Similarly, here also the index will always begin from 0. And if it gives you the index of the selected item, based on that you have to. Okay. So int get selected index begins at 0. If no item is selected, user simply list box is there. He just clicks on the list box, doesn't select anything and clicks on submit. Then how will you know that user has not selected? You know, yesterday I was mentioning you about Ruby.NET. In Ruby.NET, we used to even do the program like that. We used to give a list of values to the user. And then we used to tell on button selection. On clicking on the button, we should display which item is selected. Sometimes user used to not select only. Then in that case, we had to check array. We had to tell the user, array you have not selected. How will we know that he has not selected? If that index is returned as -1, then we should know that nothing is selected. So we used to check if now get selected index and store it in one variable. If that variable is -1, display the message, you have not selected any item. Else, get that selected index. Now from that index, how to take a value? Third method. The third method, get selected value. You can directly access even the value which is selected value. Display. Clear with that? So let us see one small program. First, I'll show you the output. Anyway, this is about a city itself. We will create a city and we'll add some items. How to create a city list box. How to create a list, JList, and then give some name which is declared here. Okay, pay attention here. I'm creating an applet. Here I am not used any event handler. I'm just showing you the design. Okay. If you want event handler, you will have to use either item listener or even action listener also is fine. But it is not implemented here. It is just a design. So I create a list like this. Why? Because JList is always associated with multiple values. Clear? I create one label, uske baaju mein. Then I also create a scroll pane, which is not compulsory. To add values in that particular list, I have created one array called as cities with 3 cities. Now see. What I'm doing is I'm creating a list with this array. Which array? You know that cities array is already defined with 3 values. That you can add here, or here itself you can add the values. That also you can. Clear? Now. Then I am making my list to enable single selection. Set selection mode should be set like this. Why? Because it is a static variable. Is it? Static variable should be called with class name. Class name. This is the method which is used to. Once my list is ready, I can attach a scroll pane if I want. A label, and then I'm placing that list on my applet. Yeah, event handler is enabled here through anonymous inner class. Yeah. There is an event called as list selection event that can be used, but it is not very important for you. If you want, you can use this list selection to get the selected index. Fine. See, I have declared one integer variable idx, which will give me the index of the selected item, whichever user will select. If that idx is -1, I will say you have not chosen any city. Clear? If not, otherwise, I'm just going to tell the user you have selected. Which one you have selected? I have to just say JList dot get selected value. So that index is just used to identify whether user has clicked anywhere. Because what happens is if user has not selected anywhere, suppose you don't write this part, directly written this part, that will also make your program work. But this will give error in case user has not selected anything and directly clicked. What will happen? If you try to display this get selected value, it will be an exception. Item is selected or is not. That's why it's always better to check the selected index. User has not selected, better prompt the message, and only when else part. Else part means you ensure that user has selected what. Then only just to avoid it. Okay, got it? So the programs are a little complicated, but once you practice them, they will be. So with this, we have finished our implement. Now, in my next class, I will introduce you to the JDBC. JDBC Java Database Connectivity. Now, in DBMS, you are learning how to create a database. You know, actually, in any of the application, working application, maybe your billing system at the Big Bazaar, or go to Wellness Forever, there is a billing system, or library, there is some library management application. The main interface means the screen which is visible to you. They might have used Java, that is your swings, or they might use HTML, which you will learn in your next semester. Yeah. So there are various ways by which front end can be created. Back end, normally there is a common method. How you are learning at DBMS, that way you will create a database. After there are easier ways by which you will create a database. Remember, entire application is made up of front end and back end. Connect कैसे करना है? That has to be connected through code. Now that is through Java programming, how we are going to connect that front end to back end is JDBC. That is why it is called a Java database connectivity. Clear with that? So you have interesting programs. You are going to create database using your DBMS in Java journal program. And you are going to fetch those values. Suppose student table you have created, those values you can display in your Java program. Yeah? So you have two journal programs. Whatever is important, I will cover in the next class. That much will be the syllabus. Yeah? Yeah. Anyways, students, now give your attendance, those who are attending online. Here, Maitri, you can take the attendance and send me the snap with the date. Right? On WhatsApp.